So let's see, what am I doing today? You've got to be kidding me, right? Seriously? I thought we were doing the video on the fake ducks today. I mean, come on, you even said you had proof of everything. So why are we doing this stupid Area 51 thing? Because we need views, you know. Seriously? Do we really need that many views? I'm your king. Now just do the video. Fine, whatever. But I'm changing this stupid script you have here. Alright, fine. We're doing a video on Area 51. But I am not doing that stupid thing he wanted me to do. Today, I'm going to tell you how to survive Area 51 because you guys want to go raid it. Quick guide to how to survive Area 51 and not end up dead the next day. So you're going to need a few things. First, you're going to need a Bluetooth speaker. Cheap one, doesn't matter which one, just a Bluetooth speaker. 2, you're going to need a skateboard. Any skateboard will do, longboard, shortboard, anything will do. 3, you're going to need a broom. The longer, the better. But you're only going to need the stick, so don't worry about what kind of broom it is. If you can get the broom handle alone, that will also be fine. Now you're going to need a couple essential items. You're going to need some smoke bombs, about 20 or more, but you're going to need at least 20. Then you're going to need some bottle rockets or fireworks. Small ones or big ones, it doesn't really matter, but you're going to need a few of them, about 20 also. Doesn't matter if they go high or if they go low, but they have to at least go 20 feet high. That's your next item. And to top it off, you're going to need your cell phone. It's very important your cell phone. It's a modern cell phone, iPhone 3 or any Galaxy phone basically will work just fine. Like this one, doesn't matter if it's old, as long as it works and it turns on, it will do just fine. And finally, and most importantly, you're gonna need flex tape. Yep, I can't believe I'm saying this, but you're gonna need flex tape to save everything. Now I'm gonna tell you how you're gonna use all this to survive raiding Area 51, an actual military base. Let's start. First, you're gonna have to build something so that you don't die from a mine as soon as you enter Area 51. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the skateboard, we're going to get the speaker, and we're going to get the broom. First thing you're going to do is you're going to put the skateboard down, and you're going to get the Bluetooth speaker, and you're going to tape it to the skateboard. Make sure the speakers are facing downwards. If you can have 2 speakers on each side of the skateboard, if you can just have 1 speaker in the middle, make sure the speaker itself is not obstructed, so put it on the front of the skateboard or under the skateboard if you have to, so that the speaker can face directly down to the ground. Then you're going to take the broom and you're going to attach it to the back of the skateboard so that you can push the skateboard in front of you at arm's length, so it's at least a few feet in front of you. That way, when the speaker runs, it's going to put vibrations into the ground, which will help trigger any mines that the skateboard rides over, thus blowing your skateboard up instead of you. Mind you, this only works once, so if you want to do this, you might want to have a couple people walk in a line, one behind each other, so that you have a backup skateboard just in case if one goes. You have someone else's skateboard that's going to help keep you from dying also. So now that you have a mine detector down, you're going to move on to the second step. The second step is actually quite important. This keeps you from getting a headshot as soon as you enter Area 51 or getting just shot in the chest. Most likely getting shot in the head is probably going to be the better scenario because, you know, double tap and all. But let's move on from that gruesome scenario. And let's find a way to prevent it. The smoke bombs. That is exactly where the smoke bombs come in. You need about 20. You're only going to be using one at a time. You're going to place a smoke bomb on your skateboard. If you have a cup on your skateboard, that'll work too. You can just throw it inside of the cup so it doesn't roll off. But you can probably just use the flex tape, double it over so it's sticky on one side, and tape it to the top of the skateboard. That way you can light the smoke bomb and just toss it at the skateboard, and it'll get stuck to the skateboard. And it'll create a giant cloud of smoke in front of you so that when you're walking behind the bomb, there's not a clear view of your body, so it makes it much harder for you to get shot from a distance. And to make this even better, if Vape Nation wants to show up and create a giant cloud of vape, that'll help too, because, you know, no one can see through a giant cloud of vape, especially a cloud of vape that doesn't dissipate. That'll also help cover your slow march towards Area 51. So now that you won't get shot and you won't get mines thrown at you, there's still one big thing that most of you already thought of: drones. It's a military base, which definitely means there are going to be drones flying around Area 51. Especially if it's being raided, they're going to have drones up ahead. And that is where bottle rockets, fireworks, and your cell phone comes in. ironically enough, your cell phone is gonna help jam drones. Nope, you don't require any special app, and you don't require taking apart your phone and making anything borderline illegal like actual jammers. What we're gonna do instead is we're just gonna do low-tech brute force entry the whole way. First things first, bottle rockets. As you get closer to the actual center of Area 51, where it's more heavily patrolled, you're gonna start shooting up bottle rockets every couple minutes. Just aim them upwards and slightly forward so that they shoot out of the clouds in front of you. That way, it might hit a drone, it might knock one out, may not, most likely won't, but at least the drones will not fly as low for fear of being shot down by simple bottle rockets, because drones actually aren't that strong. They can be shot down pretty easily if they're hit where the motors are. And if you have fireworks that actually explode and go off, that's even better, because then that disrupts their cameras so they can't really see anything from the bright lights and will help keep you from being targeted and shot at also. And now we come to the most important part, jamming the signal for the drones so that it makes it harder for them to not only fly above you, target you, but just control them in general. And to do this, we don't need any tinkering to your phone or any special app to turn your phone into a jammer. All we need is a hotspot capable phone. How we're going to do this is simple. We're going to congest all the radio waves typically used for Wi-Fi. To do this, we're going to need to jam all 35 Wi-Fi radio signals that typical Wi-Fi hotspot has access to, which will be the 2.5 gigahertz and the 5 gigahertz bandwidth. All the channels that are found in them adds up to about 35 channels. You're gonna get in groups of 35, and each person will set their hotspot to a different channel. And each person will also set their hotspot to a unique name. To achieve the unique name, I recommend using your date of birth backwards, pick 3 letters, and then add 2 random numbers after that. That will guarantee everyone in the entire raid has a completely different Wi-Fi ID. If you have 2 overlapping IDs, anything that picks up a Wi-Fi signal will actually see that as just one Wi-Fi signal being there, and thus reduce the congestion. So to increase the congestion as much as possible, as many unique Wi-Fi networks need to be visible at once. Also make sure all these Wi-Fi networks are not only visible, but they're also open. So in the case of one of these drones losing signal from its main provider, it may actually hop to one of the random Wi-Fi networks that's being generated around it, thus keeping these drones fairly busy and keeping the airways fairly congested, which will also reduce on radio chatter, because radio chatter does get interference from Wi-Fi's networks, especially when there are a large amount of Wi-Fi networks. If you have a ham radio, especially if there's a group of you with ham radios, you can also do that and just broadcast random music over your ham radio in different channels to further congest the airwaves, thus slowing down signals and also making it harder for communication on the Navy base to be something that's easy to do. And also, the more people doing this, the more congested the airwave gets. And even though the military does use Wi-Fi networks and channels that are separate than the regular population uses, a large amount of traffic over radio waves and Wi-Fi signals will interrupt theirs, even though they're not using the same channels, which is the same reason you try to pick a unique channel that no one else is using for your Wi-Fi network at home, because you get interference from your neighbors because they're running on the same channel, and you do still get some interference if you have a lot of networks around you. For instance, if you live in an apartment, even if you're using a completely unique channel, you're still going to have a slower Wi-Fi network because there's so many channels overlapping. There's so much congestion in the airwaves themselves. So now that you can hide from snipers, you have a way to detect mines before you walk on them and explode, and you have a way to keep drones from just randomly dropping things on you. So now that you have all that, you can raid Area 51 confidently and know that you will survive to see exactly that giant empty room in the center of Area 51, because everything was moved to Area 15 when the Roswell conspiracy started decades ago. Good luck.